organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
Surviving suicide. One local woman speaks out about her battle with depression.
And serving the disabled. People around the state came to run for a reason.
And in sports, we're recapping the 2014 spring football game.
Stay with us. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Mickle.
And I'm Megan Horhan.
UI basketball player Peter Jock is facing an OWI charge after he was arrested early Saturday morning. Iowa City Police arrested Jock on his moped after they say he made an improper turn and was missing a tail light. Police say Jock then failed a field sobriety test and had a blood alcohol level of .082. Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffrey was in California at the time of Jock's arrest, but said he plans to deal with the situation, according to the UI Student Athlete Code of Conduct.
Suicide takes the lives of 30,000 Americans each year. One local woman, Haley Lynch, is a survivor. She has battled not only her own depression, but also lost her fiancé to the mental illness 2.5 years ago. Bill Marabella died by suicide in 2011, and since then, Haley has made an effort to speak out so she can hopefully change the lives of others. Our own Megan Sanchez has the story. Take a look.
I'm Haley Lynch, born and raised in Iowa City. I'm 24, single mom of a little boy named Georgie, and during the week I nanny for my nieces. On the weekends I work at Ragsock. That's pretty much all I have time for.
Bill Mirabella was a DJ, charismatic, with a smile so big it was contagious. Just by looking at him, you couldn't tell he battled depression. But unfortunately, he was part of the 1 in 10 Americans who suffer from this mental illness, and it caused him to take his own life in 2011.
One of his biggest issues with his depression was that he didn't want to burden anyone else with his feelings, so that's why he didn't express them that much.
Haley and Bill's son George is now 5. He understands that his dad was really sick. Haley keeps Bill's memory alive by visiting his grave in Cedar Rapids often, or as George calls it, Daddy's special place.
What if it's Daddy's birthday? What do we do?
Take balloons there and let them fly to heaven so my dad can catch some.
Haley is now on medication for her own depression and has spent time researching the illness so she can better educate her son and others. She's told her story to hundreds of people now through different speaking engagements.
I feel that by sharing mine and what I have gone through and what Bill has gone through and what George and I have gone through together as suicide survivors, that it's going to encourage people to at least rethink things.
Haley is a survivor, a fighter that will keep fighting until the battle on mental illness is won. Megan Sanchez, Daily Iowan TV.
Haley's story is a 1 in a 3-part series on mental illness in the Iowa City area that Megan has been working on. They will run this week in the pages of the Daily Iowan. Be sure to read more tomorrow.
Many Iowa City residents are looking forward to the return of the farmers market downtown this summer, but that means it's the end of the season for the 3rd annual Winters Farmers Market, which wrapped up its first year inside the Sycamore Mall on Saturday. The market was held at Grantwood Elementary before moving to the Sycamore Mall this year, which allowed the switch for the bi-weekly schedule to a weekly one. Farmers Market Supervisor Cassidy Bell said the change of venue led to a welcome increase in traffic.
It was super busy in November and December. It was really exciting actually how many people came out, and we got some really nice cross traffic from people that we weren't expecting that just were walking the mall or shopping around here or coming to the movies.
The Winters Farmers Market averaged between 15 and 17 vendors each Saturday. The downtown market has been a tradition for over 4 decades and usually draws roughly 50 vendors on Wednesday evenings, with up to 130 vendors appearing on Saturday mornings from May to October. In addition to the downtown farmers markets, the market at Sycamore Mall will continue to be held on Tuesdays this summer from 3 to 6 p.m.
Artists and art lovers joined forces this weekend at the annual Riverbank Art Fair held in Iowa City. Over 50 artists from the Midwest came to display their art and had the chance to sell their work to the public at the indoor festival yesterday and today. The fair, which took place at the Iowa Memorial Union, included exhibits such as paintings and woodworking, as well as jewelry and photography. Community members were encouraged to shop around and also take part in a wine tasting during the fair.
Medicinal marijuana might be coming to Iowa in the near future. The Iowa Senate passed a bill on Friday making Iowa the 21st state to legalize the use of medicinal marijuana in some form. If passed, patients with chronic epilepsy will have access to cannabis oil as a form of treatment for the disease. Senators heard testimony from mothers of children with epilepsy and said the atmosphere on the Senate floor was emotionally charged. The bill passed in a 36-12 vote and now moves to the House for debate.
This afternoon, UI officials sent students a hawk alert, warning them of the possible severe storms and flooding in the area.
The flash flood warning is still in effect for the evening, so let's toss it over to our own Hannah Thompson in the weather studio to see if these storms will stick with us all week. Hannah?
Thanks, guys. Yes, today has been quite exciting weather-wise, and we can expect that to stay the same for this coming week. Just this afternoon, everyone in the Iowa City area saw the dark skies, heard the tornado warning siren, and witnessed the strong winds and rain. And right here in the backyard of our own studio, streets quickly became flooded, and a car even got stuck in the water. Now, with these storms are going to come a big drop in temperature for us this week. Tomorrow morning will be a high of 58 with a 55% chance of more rain. By the afternoon, temperatures will be at 67 degrees, and the chance of thunderstorms will go up to 70%. The evening temperatures will drop down to 57 and the rain will continue throughout the night. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, expect a lack of sunshine but plenty of precipitation. Tuesday temperatures will be near 60 with a 60% chance of rain. Wednesday and Thursday will cool off quite a bit with upper 40 and low 50 degree temperatures. And yes, you guessed it, more rain. The week will come to an end with temperatures in the upper 50s and cloudy skies. Now that's all I have for you today in the weather studio. Try and stay safe and warm and dry in all the storms that are headed our way. Jordan and Megan, back to you.
Thanks, Hannah. A long-standing UI tradition was almost cut short on their 35th anniversary, but despite the roadblocks along the way, the UI River Run still got off and running today.
Runners to your mark. Get set.
The University of Iowa River Run took off running today for the 35th year in a row, but with an entire new route this time. Traditionally, the River Run starts at the IMU, but because of construction at the art building on Riverside Drive, student race organizers were told the route was too risky for runners, and this news came only a month and a half before race day.
We have a race. It was going to be canceled, but we pushed through it and we got this going for this year, so it's awesome.
Despite having only a month and a half of planning and having to change the route, 900 runners still turned out for the event today. Usually more than 1,000 runners turn out for the event, but Marisi said just 1 week ago only 200 runners were registered. The River Run is a student-organized event, and more than 75% of the money raised goes towards Uptown Bill's Extend the Dream Foundation, a nonprofit that helps people with disabilities establish their own small businesses in Iowa City. First place 5K runner Zach Baker said running for a cause that gives back to the Iowa City community adds even more to the importance of the River Run tradition.
And so to be able to run a race for someone who can't do such a thing in their honor, it just makes it special.
Through the bumps and hurdles, the River Run still managed to ring in their 35th year. Gabriella Dunn, Daily Iowan TV.
Race organizers said they plan to continue the event next year, but the location will still be dependent on construction.
And now for the latest on everything Hawkeye sports, let's send things over to Cody Goodwin, who is standing by. Cody?
Thanks, guys. Cody Goodwin back in business and ready to bring you all the buzz from another weekend of black and gold athletics, including our Iowa football 2-minute drill with Mr. Ben Ross. But first, we start on the diamond with Iowa baseball completing the sweep of South Dakota State this past weekend, bringing their overall record to 25-15 on the season. The Hawks continuing their hot play under first-year head coach Rick Heller, winning 7 of their last 10 games, including a dramatic walk-off win in the 11th inning on Friday night. We should listen into that. Hawkeye production with the highlights. Brent Balbinot with the call.
1-0. This one base here into right field, base hit, and the Hawks will win. Day comes home, and it's a 2-1 marathon, but the Hawks take game 1.
Baseball, not the only team competing this weekend. Track and field traveling to Des Moines for the annual Drake Relays. The team crowned 2 champions with Gabe Holt taking first white flag in discus, throwing 60.05 meters, the only competitor to throw over 60 at the legendary blue track. Also worth mentioning is the women's 4x1 relay team breaking a 10-year-old team record on their way to the school's first 400-meter relay title at Drake. Heading back to the Diamond, Iowa softball competing in Bloomington, Indiana over the weekend, taking the series rubber match on Sunday, 3-2. Big games for both shortstop Megan Blank and center fielder Aaron Erickson as they both went yard. Pitcher Kayla Massey also in top form, tossing a complete game, allowing just 8 hits and striking out 4 en route to her 9th win of the season. And finally, women's golf and tennis finishing up their Big Ten championships this weekend. Tennis ousted in the quarterfinals against number 17 Michigan. Junior Shelby Talcott recording Iowa's lone victory there. And golf ending their Big Ten championship run in 9th place after finishing 7th the first 2 days. Now, obviously, a whole lot going on in the Iowa sports world, but the eyes of Iowa City, well, they were on the gridiron this weekend. We're now joined by Ben Ross to break down the top 5 headlines as the Hawks finally wrap up spring ball. Ben, 2-minute drill coming. You snapped in?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Same as I. Let's get to it. A lot of headlines made this spring, but first and foremost might be the youthful impacts coming this fall. There's Desmond King, number 14 there. Haven't missed a beat since his showing in the Outback Bowl in January.
And Derek Willis showing up on Saturday, the redshirt freshman, 210-pound underclassman, should play a major role. Had 2 catches for over 40 yards yesterday.
Indeed. Moving on to the number 4, the storyline replacing the linebackers. Ben, it's very tough to replace production as opposed to talent.
Yeah, well, Reggie Spearman and Quentin Alston, they may not have the numbers or the starts behind them, but they definitely have the talent. The 2 are making some big-time waves during spring ball and during the spring game.
One thing we've seen this spring, both Spearman and Alston, a lot of chemistry between the 2. Should be fun to watch come the fall. The third one, of course, crazy depth in the backfield. Ben, 9 different scholarship running backs, and all of them are healthy.
Yeah, everybody's healthy. No more of that, curse on the Iowa running backs in Kansas area. He's looking like he could be the guy at tailback during the spring game.
Definitely. He scored 1 there in the spring game. Damon Bullock, obviously another workhorse that could be used. And obviously you can't forget about Mark Wiseman, the hammer. Number 2, we're looking at the defensive line now. Last time out, we saw these guys in Tampa. LSU just gave them the business. Jeremy Hill goes crazy then for almost 200 yards. But Ben, these guys have had one crazy spring.
Yeah, a lot, but still, you got a lot of time to get coached up. Aside from Louis Trinket-Passad and Carl Davis, pretty unproven. Even though Mike Hardy at defensive end has a handful of starts under his belt too.
Kirk Ferentz really high on Mike Hardy, who actually did some damage against Brandon Scherf in the spring game, making some noise in the pocket, allowing the offense to struggle. Bunch of depth there too. But the number 1, of course, is the quarterback. Jake Rudock, obviously listed as the guy if you ask offensive coordinator Greg Davis. But C.J. Beathard making some noise in the spring game a little bit.
Yeah, but still, it's right now Jake Rudock's job to lose. He's the incumbent, and Greg Davis and Kirk Ferentz, they love working with those incumbents at the quarterback spot.
Indeed, Jake Rudock will be the second-year guy in Greg Davis's offense. The last quarterback to do that, Colt McCoy. We all know how great he was. Should it be fair to expect the same from Rudock?
I don't know. He doesn't have maybe the talent that you get at a Texas School of Football, but at the same time, he's in the playbook. Kirk Ferentz's system has proven itself in the past. Could be more comfortable. Could be looking good.
Interesting. It will be fun to see. That's going to do it for us. Ben seems to be out of breath, and I am out of time. You can join us here back same time, same place on Monday as we get you set for another week of Black and Gold Athletics. But for now, Jordan and Megan, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Cody. Here's what's going on in tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan. Check out why student football ticket sales are down compared to last year.
And cleaning the slate, read how Johnson County youth were given the chance to seal their criminal records.
Thank you for joining us this evening. You can check us out anytime online and at dailyiowan.com.
Have a great night.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined, and now I make videos for the university. I joined, and now I work for the most trusted news source in America. SJMC.